It's not about the money. It's about control, period. They don't need to say, we're charging you taxes, or you have to do your civic duty of paying us taxes. First of all, paying us taxes, that's not how it is. They steal this money or this currency or these funds from you and I. They steal this. They steal this no different, no better than the mafia, someone who breaks into your house, anything. No better than that whatsoever. It's the same thing. It's all theft. So they say, but taxes, we need taxes. We need to tax you because you have to pay your taxes so we can offer all these programs and offer all this protection and offer all this XYZ, whatever. That's not it. That is not it. Because, think about it, there are 330 million people in the United States of America, give or take. Of that, about 200 million of those are people who are of the age that are going to be paying taxes, or being the age that they're going to be, theft from, stolen from, taken from, and called taxes by the government. So, on that level, it's 200 million people. All right? So, a million times a million is a billion. A million is a billion, is what I meant to say. So that's how you get the billion. So now, if everyone here would pay their 330 million people, if the 200 million people that are taxpayers, as they tell us, if every one of them would give us $500,000, we would have enough to give, well, just so an example up there, Ukraine $30 billion, or $40 billion, or $20 billion. Doesn't matter. Okay, well, let's say it was $20 billion. That'd be $500,000 per person, per taxpayer. That it cost the taxpayer $500,000 to give Ukraine $20 billion. And my math might be a little fuzzy there, but that's about it. And they've given so much more than that to Ukraine. Now, besides Ukraine, then there's Ukraine. There are all these other PEG products. There's projects. There's Israel. There's been Israel for how many decades? And there's all these other places, countries outside our borders that I say that, not going along with it. I say that sparingly. But it's stolen from us and given to all these other entities and all these other special interests that they have. Who's they? They're the government. Who's the government? The people who believe they're in charge, which basically the people that are in, the organized crime racket, like the mafia, like any other organized crime racket like that, like a cartel. That's who the government is. Well, who's involved in the government? Everyone who works for the government. Everyone who works for the government allows this to happen. So government employees, yes, no matter how low on the totem pole you are or how high up, it's not all the same, but you are the problem. Different levels, you're the problem. Plain and simple. So, they need to charge us taxes, they say, to get by, to survive, to do whatever. But on a whim, they can turn around and give Ukraine or any other country tens of billions of dollars easily. Where's that come from? Where's it come from? The government has no money. They have zero. The government has zero. Every time the government gives funds of any amount to anyone or any country, any company, that's money that they have stolen from you and I and everyone else in this country. Government has no money. Like I said, they have nothing. They don't produce anything. They have nothing of real value whatsoever. All they do is steal. Like I said, counterfeit and jail. They jail those that do not follow their orders as well as they want them to. Plain and simple, that's all it is. I'll say this again. Every time the government gives funds to anyone, any country, any company, that's money that is stolen from you and I and everyone else in the country. Government has no money. They do not produce anything. They have nothing of real value, nothing to offer. All they do is steal, counterfeit, and jail anybody and everybody who do not follow their orders as much as they want them to. That's it. Plain and simple. Period. So the government doesn't need to collect taxes, like I said. All they have to do is say, I want to give this money somewhere else, and that money magically appears. Well, that's not how it works. Because right now, everyone living in this country and other countries, that's the same. That's not free, because we don't live in a free country. Because every time they say we're going to raise your taxes, or we're going to give all this money to Ukraine, or all this money to this other country, that costs you and I and your future generations and your future generations, and that's just making more and more of a slave society, period. Because on the level, the bare level of it, the raw level of it, if someone says you're going to work, wherever you're going to work, for this many hours a week, 40 hours a week, and of that, I get 25% of what you make, or 10% of what you make, or I get 5% of what you make, or I get 80% of what you make. Well, all that sounds like theft to me. Actually, all that sounds like slavery to me. So if someone says you're going to work here 40 hours a week, you're going to get nothing. But you're going to do this, or I'm going to kill you, or you're going to do this, or I'm going to jail you. You're going to do this, or else. You're going to work here at this place for 40 hours a week, and if you don't do a good job, you're going to suffer the consequences, period. You get paid nothing. That's a slave. That's being enslaved. That's what it is. But someone else says, well, no, you know what, actually you can work at that place. I won't take everything. I'll allow you to have 20% of that. Is that not still a slave? That's still a slave. No matter how much it is, it's still a slave. Even if they say you can work there and I'll only take 5% of it. Is that not a slave? It's still a slave. They're not taking everything, but they're still not allowing you to have everything that your hard-earned labor is taken. It's taken of your life for you to work there, to do that. It's a slave. No matter what level you want to call it, bottom line, it's a slave. Period. And that's what government does. It enslaves people. Period. So, if you don't allow them to steal from you, this is just a sidebar, the stuff I'm talking about. If you don't allow them to steal from you, this thing called taxes, then they will put you in jail, which you're in jail, you're in prison, because you're refusing to pay taxes, quote unquote, refusing to go along with their theft, so they're going to put you in jail, prison, and that will cost roughly $45,000 to $75,000 per person that's in prison for not paying their taxes, for not allowing you to steal from me. You government, for not letting you steal from me, you're going to put me in prison that's going to cost $45,000 to $75,000, of which you have nothing, so you have to take that from another tax payer, from another innocent victim that you're going to steal from, whatever you want to call it, to keep me in prison because I refused to go along with the scam that you're trying to convince me that is my civic duty. So really, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense. It would cost them more to put the average person in prison than it would if they didn't do anything at all, because the person didn't pay taxes, because the person refused to be stolen from. It costs them more to jail them, imprison them for not going along with the program than it does just to leave them alone. So it's not about the money. It's not about the funds. It's not about the amount. It's about control. And its rawest form. It's about control, and that's all it's about. Period. When you get down to it. Anyways, this was just a thought I had. I just want to get this out there. You think you think I'm telling it like it is, great. If you don't, that's your prerogative. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this, like, share, subscribe, and as always, stay vigilant for yourself and